So if you'd like to close your eyes, I'm just going to read a little bit from the book Illuminata from Marianne Williamson and then one of her prayers. This is chapter 2, The Luminous Mind. Illumination is light in the mind, the word made flesh, the integration of heaven and earth. It is an abstract principle dressed in human cloth, the light-filled explosion that occurs when the mind has embraced its source. Illumination is not of this world. It lifts us above the lies of the world by helping us to detach from them. Illumination is both our source and our destiny, the reason why we came here and the reason we stay. We are here to achieve an uplifted mode of being. We're meant to return to the living light which casts out the darkness of our mental miscreations. Illumination is a deepening sense of the sacred. It is the spiritual laser that cuts through the blocks to our liberation. Liberation or breakthrough is actually a movement into ourselves, the door to the next phase of our evolutionary journey. And most of the introduction is about the importance and value of prayer. So I'm going to read one here called Prayer from Prayers for New Life. Dear God, be my Redeemer, my start again. Dear God, be my Redeemer, my internal teacher, my divine physician. Thank you for your presence in my life. I surrender to you all I am, all I think, all I feel, all I have. I recognize in this moment that yours is the power to heal and make whole. You who have the power to work miracles, you who rule time and space, please take me in your arms and hold me. Dear Lord, please lift me up and heal me. Cast out of my mind all thoughts that are not of you. Cast out of me all harsh and critical nature. Cast out of me all violence and all anger. Cast out of me all demons from my past. I would be made new. I wish to walk so close to you that we might be as one. I ask for new life, new mind, new body, new spirit. Dear God, please come into me and release me from my pain. Amen. Just rest there a moment. Feeling in this time of coming summer, of new life everywhere, flowers bursting into bloom, leaves, and new little baby animals of all sorts, new hope, new. And then we remember that we are one, as we always come to at the beginning. Though we seem to be separate bodies, in the place that counts, we are one. Deep in our heart, pure spirit, together, we are one. Just feel those words just rise and fall in your mind for a couple of minutes. We are one. And gently returning. Open your eyes when you're ready. And you'll remember, I think that we're going to be looking at at lesson 109 today, I Rest in God. We can come back to this. It's such a wonderful lesson. And I actually featured it when I was on one of the Course in Miracles um, conferences, and we had to choose our favourite lesson. This is the one that I chose. And I thought, let's see who's got their books and who'd like to read. Can you just just give me a little wave if you've got your book and you'd like to read? Okay, so we've got Janie and Nikki and Elizabeth. Anybody else got their book and want to read? Sarah, no, Sarah, are you there?
I don't mind reading.
Oh, Punny, yes, okay. And Sarah? No, she's probably gone off.
I'm fine. I'm here now. I can read.
Okay, so we've got 4.
Yeah, I'm Amelia.
Oh, and Sarah. So 5 people, and yes, wanting to read. Okay, so we've got 9 paragraphs. So what's this, 9? So if I do 4 at the end. Okay, so should I just call your name and ask you to read? If you read 2, that would be too many, wouldn't it? Yes. So if you read 1 paragraph each. So Nikki, you put your hand up first. Would you like to begin?
So sorry, I'm lost. What page are we?
Oh, it's 197, lesson 109.
Oh
I
yes,
rest
yeah,
in God.
got it. I rest in God. Yeah. Sorry.
All right.
I rest in God. We ask for rest today and quietness unshaken by the world's appearances. We ask for peace and stillness in the midst of all the turmoil born of clashing dreams. We ask for safety and for happiness, although we seem to look on danger and on sorrow. And we have the thought that will answer our asking with what we request.
Uni. Thank you, Nikki.
I rest in God. This thought will bring to you the rest and quiet, peace and stillness, and the safety and the happiness you seek. I rest in God. This thought has the power to wake the sleeping truth in you, whose vision sees beyond appearances to that same truth in everyone and everything there is. Here is the end of suffering for all the world, and everyone who ever came and yet will come to linger for a while. Here is the thought in which the Son of God is born again to recognize himself.
Thank you, Penny. Elizabeth? Have you got it okay, Elizabeth? Oh, would you like to read the 3rd paragraph? Oh, and you need to take your mute off. I tell you what, while you're working that one out, I'll get Janie to read the next one, and then I'll come back to you when you've worked out your mute, because I know it's always tricky for you, your mute.
I rest in God, completely undismayed. This thought will carry you through storms and strife, past misery and pain, past loss and death, and onwards to the certainty of God. There is no suffering it cannot heal. There is no problem that it cannot solve, and no appearance but will turn to truth before the eyes of you who rest in God.
And we're just going to have a pause there, because I'm sure I wanted to highlight what you must have noticed, that those 3 words keep coming back, don't they? I rest in God, I rest in God. And I always feel it as an invitation for us to pause as we're going through the lesson and actually sit with that for a few minutes. Okay? So if you'd like to close your eyes, let's just take a few minutes meditation just with those words, I rest in God. And for all of us, it's seeing if we can go deep within them. And what does it actually mean to you to rest in God? So feel those words in your mind, in your heart, and like we do, you can feel them rising and falling with your breath. And feel you take that rest deeply. It's not about resting the body, isn't it? resting the mind from all its wanderings, all the ego stuff. It's so tiring. So I feel like you're just dropping into a really beautiful, deep place beyond the ego, into God, to light, that luminous mind, peace and joy and love. I rest in God, breathing in. I rest in God, breathing out. I'll call you back again in a few minutes. And gently returning. Take your time. And your eyes when you're ready. And Elizabeth, if you're ready, I'm just not sure everybody's back yet. So it's all right, don't worry. We're going to come back to it again. Elizabeth, I think you sorted your mute out. Would you like to read paragraph 4?
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the day of peace. You rest in God, and while the world is torn by winds of hate, your rest remains completely undisturbed. Yours is the rest of truth. Appearances cannot intrude on you. You call to all to join you in your rest, and they will hear and come to you because you rest in God. They will not hear another voice than yours because you gave your voice to God, and now you rest in Him and let Him speak through you.
Thank you. Isn't that beautiful, that thought of, again, the oneness, isn't it? As we encounter more deeply our own peace, we want others to join us in our peace, and so the peace grows. Very beautiful. Sarah, would you like to read paragraph 5?
And it starts, in him you have no cares. In him you have no cares and no concerns, no burdens, no anxiety, no pain, no fear of future, and no past regrets. In timelessness you rest, while time goes by without its touch upon you, for your rest can never change in any way at all. You rest today, and as you close your eyes, sink into stillness. Let these periods of rest and respite reassure your mind that all its frantic fantasies were but the dreams of fever that has passed away. Let it be still and thankfully accept its healing. No more fearful dreams will come now that you rest in God. Take time today to slip away from dreams and into peace.
Sarah, did you say you wanted to read, or did I imagine that?
Yeah.
Yes. Lovely. Will you read paragraph 6 then, please?
Each hour that you take your rest today, a tired mind is suddenly made glad. A bird with broken wings begins to sing. A stream long dry begins to flow again. The world is born again each time you rest, and hourly remember that you came to bring the peace of God into the world, that it might take its rest along with you.
Okay, thank you. This for me is the picture of the happy dream that the Course talks about. And that as we enter more deeply into our spiritual nature, as we relinquish judgment, and enter into forgiveness, we let go of all that grievance stuff we can carry around, the world we see changes. And it's a very mystical experience, but there's more and more beauty in our vision as we let go of our tendency to judge, as we get beyond the ego into the spirit. And I think this is what it's talking about. Yeah, when you're really resting in God, you are in God, one with God, and the world shifts. And that's these lovely words about a tired mind is suddenly made glad. A bird with broken wings begins to sing. A stream long dry begins to flow again. The world is born again each time you rest. So I think that's just so beautiful to hold on to, every time we go into our true peace within us, there's a shift in how the world looks. Wouldn't that be wonderful if we could all do that together? And I often think, if you think metaphysically, or I don't know, perhaps it's not the right word, if everybody only saw the beauty in the world, would anything else exist? It's one of those things you have to think about. But it couldn't, could it? The existence of whatever it appears to exist depends on our vision, depends on what we see. And if nobody saw anything but beauty, there wouldn't be anything else. And I always think that's one of the very good, important reasons why we do this work. Because as more people join us, we're making that commitment together to seeing only the beauty. I know sometimes when you look out at the world, it doesn't seem that way. But I think that, people like us are quiet, aren't we? We're not out there raging and shouting. We're quietly trying to join together to enter more deeply into peace. And I think it's our healing gift to the world. Lovely. Thank you. So we got to, where did we just get to? We get to, 6. I just read that again. I want to do a little visualization with you, but I think we'll have paragraph 7 and 8 before that. So if I go back to the beginning again, Nikki, would you like to read paragraph 7?
Each hour that you take your rest today, a tired mind is suddenly made. Oh, have we not just read that?
Yes, it's 7. Did I say
That
6?
is 7. Yeah. Do you mean 8?
No, mine is 7. Isn't that funny?
Oh,
So the one that begins with each 5 minutes.
yeah. Okay. So, with each 5 minutes that you rest today, the world is nearer waking, and the time when rest will be the only thing there is comes closer to all worn and tired minds, too wary to go their way alone. And they will hear the birds begin to sing, and see the stream begin to flow again, with hope reborn and energy restored, to walk with lightened steps along the road that suddenly seems easy as they go.
Lovely. I think I'm going to read the next one, and then after that, we're going to do a little visualization. You rest within the peace of God today and call upon your brothers from your rest to draw them to their rest along with you. You will be faithful to your trust today, forgetting no one, bringing everyone into the boundless circle of your peace, the holy sanctuary where you rest. Open the temple doors and let them come from far across the world and near as well, your distant brothers and your closest friends. Bid them all enter here and rest with you. Isn't that beautiful? So if you like to close your eyes now, we'll do a visualization based on what we're being told here. So let's imagine that we're in the holy sanctuary. This paragraph talks about the holy sanctuary and previously about the temple. So I like to imagine, and you can do what you like with it, I'm just suggesting, imagine an ancient temple. See what comes to you. Huge temple, perhaps made out of ancient stone, and perhaps it's been there for thousands of years. Would it be somewhere very, very green, and with these beautiful features of water and birds singing and flowers? So as far as the eye can see, beautiful nature all around this temple, and perhaps it's somewhere higher, so you can look out across the world. Now, just imagine yourself sitting alone for a while in the center of this temple. You might imagine a vast space. Just in your own inner eye, look around, see where it is you're sitting, what the floor is like, the walls, ceiling. Are there any drapes? Maybe there's candles. Just see what comes to you in your temple. And as you look from the center of your temple, you can see these vast doors. They're beginning to swing open, opening. Maybe you can hear the creaking sound of the doors opening. Wider and wider, slowly. Big, heavy door. And now you can look out onto this wonderful world outside. This forgiven world. This happy dream. You might hear those ancient sounds that are made with the beautiful conch shells falling. Imagine it a calling that you can hear. You begin to hear the sound of feet, and people start coming into your temple. And you greet them with joy and peace in your heart, great love. Some of these people you know, maybe family and friends. And then as more and more people come in, you realize they're people with all different skin colors, different clothes, different ways of moving and speaking. And thousands of people coming into your temple. And a miraculous thing is happening as they come deeply into the center and you greet them. So they dissolve, their bodies dissolve into light. There's no more bodies as they come close. And the light in the center of the temple is growing and expanding. More and more people are coming. And if they were bodies, they wouldn't fit, would they? But they keep dissolving into light as they come close to you. You embrace, and the body goes. And there is only light. And this ball of light in the center of your temple is getting bigger and bigger. And still more people are coming. Millions of people. Until all the people of the earth have come into your temple. And all of you, including you and all the people, have dissolved into light. This light is intense and golden and strong. There's a vibration and a huge, powerful energy. And it's singing the kind of ancient song that you recognize, a forgotten song that you can hear, not with the body's ears, through spirit. Can you hear the song? The raising of millions of voices in love and peace and joy. As the light gets bigger and bigger until it expands beyond the walls of your temple. And then you realize you've moved up above planet Earth. And this ball of light encloses the earth. And all the little lights of people doing this work across the earth have joined. And the earth dissolves into light. Now for another 5 minutes, rest in the light. So you're resting in God, which is the same, resting in the light, resting in love, resting in peace, resting in joy. But this light, remember, this light has no edges. The light is now all there is. Fills every corner of your mind. So for this meditation, to see if you can gently, without strain, feel yourself as light. And that light is all there is. And we are one in the light. Just hold your mind and decide to be the light. Be together in the light. Nothing but light. I'll call you back in about 5 minutes. And gently returning again. Take your time. It would be so nice if anybody would like to share their experience in that meditation. Anybody have anything they'd like to share? I did see some lovely smiley faces during it when I opened my eyes and had a peep. Funny.
Yeah, deep feeling of peace, especially when you keep going to the light and you envisage that beautiful light and it's just spreading everywhere. So yeah, a real deep feeling of peace and yeah, of being in the now. I mean, it gives you a sense of you that you're really in the now. You can't really think of anything when you're in that light. You can't be in past, you can't be in future, you're just in light, if you know what I mean.
Lovely, thank you. Yes, I love that meditation. But I also know it's one of the hardest meditations you can ever do because it hasn't got anything to hook into, any words told onto or anything. You're just entering into the light. And I know sometimes when I really get it and I feel that it is like that, there's no edges to the light. Do you all know what I mean by no edges? It doesn't come to an end, you know, it isn't this shape and then there's something else beyond it. It's all there is. And I love it when I can get that experience of it just being everything. Anyone else like to comment? Did you have anyone else a nice experience? Nikki?
Yeah, just before you said about the people, I was thinking, oh, this is lovely, but there's no people. And then I imagined I went to a soup kitchen on Saturday, and I just saw all the people that we were giving food to there, all really happy and smiling and just enjoying it all. Just a really lovely feeling, sharing it all, and healing going on, and it's just a lovely feeling.
Yeah, beautiful. And there's so much compassion there, and that unites us, I think, when we can feel other people's pain and do something to help alleviate it. Lovely. Thank you.
I find it there's that bit of atmosphere there anyway. It's amazing. Yeah, they do it in a forecourt, and so people are hanging around, and it's a bit like a party or something because you're giving food out, and then people are. I don't know. There is a nice atmosphere actually.
Yeah. There's something
And they know each other, and they sort of look out for each other. Yeah. Different world that it's a world that you can't get into unless you're sort of allowed to be in that little group. Otherwise, it's funny.
Lovely, thank you. Did anyone else have their hand up? Sarah, did you? Or were you just moving? It's okay.
I was, but I did want to share something. So yeah, at the beginning with the visualization of the temple, that was lovely, and then the welcoming, it sort of tied in with the wording of the lesson which I've been reading now and then through the day, was the welcoming in. But then extreme fatigue kept coming because I've been up since 5:15 and I haven't really had any restful time, not really. So it kind of I had the experience, and then I just sort of went into. I mean, I knelt just so that I wouldn't drop off, but it was kind of that. But I feel like at the moment things are a bit dry, a bit of a sort of a dryness is difficult to explain really, but it's it's sort of like a full dryness in that it's just that there's nothing I can do to make anything feel more or less. It's just this constant nothingness, but it's not a horrible nothingness. It's just like very low key, I suppose, nothing exciting. And this lesson is very much like that. There is nothing I can do to make anything happen. So it's just this constant state of doing nothing because there's no point. And I've sort of been through a long period of being very enthusiastic, very diligent, and applying myself and reading the course and Ken Watney's commentary and all that, and got loads out of it. But now it just feels like there's almost nothing coming out of anything. There's no juice anywhere. I can't make it happen. I can't generate it. And so in the meditation time, it was like that. But the visual of the temple was lovely. It was like I was in a sort of womb-like temple, and then bringing people sort of in my mind. It was also lovely.
It just sounds to me like you're having a very appropriate time of doing nothing. You know, that we are taught this. We're not supposed to be constantly striving. You know, that's what this lesson is about, isn't it? It doesn't say run about and strive to get anywhere. It says rest. Just be quiet, sit down, shut up, rest, you know, and absorb. Because I know how much effort you put into learning and growing and so on, but you have to stop for a bit and know that that's great. It's lovely. You don't do anything. Maybe it's dry. Maybe it's just a wonderful fallow time where you can receive.
Yes, I almost feel like I'm on holiday. I don't feel obliged to do anything because nothing seems to happen when I do it. So yeah, I just, yeah.
Yes. Most doing that we get into comes from the ego, so it's never going to get us what we think we want. You know, so doing as little as possible is always a good answer. Thank you. Okay, lovely. So I think this is a good moment for us to listen to Neda Boyne singing "I'll Rest in God." And Jan, that's what I was thinking about Jana. Sarah, you had mentioned this to me, and I know you like Neda Boyne. Do you want to say something about this song of hers based on this lesson? You don't have to.
I do. Actually, Neda Boyne, she won the competition, The Voice. It's like the talent competition, the Dutch version, and she was going to be her intention was to be a pop star, but it all turned around when she's just in the course of 2 weeks she just received all these tunes that went along with many of the workbook lessons. Can I read a bit from the course about I Do Nothing? Yeah, this is I was having a bit of success in reading Ken Watney's commentary today. I haven't read it for a week or so, but it's he's explaining how we walk this earth as others do, but there remains a part of our mind that is fully aware of Jesus' love. This allows us, regardless of the body's busyness or world events, never to lose our peace. And then he quotes from a bit later, the closing paragraph of I Need Do Nothing, which summarizes this split awareness wherein we are at rest, even though our bodies may be quite active. So here it is. Yet there will always be this place of rest to which you can return. And you will be more aware of this quiet centre of the storm than all its raging activity. This quiet centre in which you do nothing will remain with you, giving you rest in the midst of every busy doing on which you are sent. For from this centre will you be directed how to use the body sinlessly. That's from chapter 18.
Yes. Excellent. It's so perfect with this lesson. good. Thank you. So if you'd like to close your eyes again, we'll listen to Ned Avoid. I probably won't put all of it as we'll run out of time because it's quite a long one. And then we'll read the last paragraph from here. So let's find it's here. Very good.
I rest in God.
Hear it?
I rest in God today.
Yeah.
I rest in God today and let Him work in me. I rest in God today and let Him work through me. While I rest in Him, in quiet and in perfect certainty, I rest in God today, away from dreams and into peace. I rest in God today. 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 I rest in God today and wake the sleeping truth in me. I rest in God today. The end of suffering is He. I rest in God today. Carry me through storm and strife. I rest in God today, away from dreams and into peace. I rest in God today. I rest in God today. I rest in God today. I rest in God today.
So resting in those words, so resting God. A little bit longer, dropping down into that rest where we need do nothing. I rest in God. I rest in God. You rest within the peace of God today, quiet and unafraid. Each brother comes to take his rest and offer it to you. We rest together here, for thus our rest is made complete. And what we give today we have received already. Time is not the guardian of what we give today. We give to those unborn and those passed by, to every thought of God, and to the mind in which these thoughts were born and where they rest. And we remind them of their resting place each time we tell ourselves, I rest in God. Just rest a couple of minutes longer. I rest in God. And gradually returning for the last time this session. Slowly opening your eyes. You might need a stretch or deep breath. Lovely. It's been lovely being with you, resting in God together. Hope you feel rested and renewed. And I'll see you again in a couple of weeks' time, I hope. So sending you loads of love, and take your mute off, and then we can say goodbye to each other.
Goodbye.
Thanks, Leah. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Leah. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, Leah. Bye-bye,
Bye.
everybody.
See you Saturday.
Lots of love.